Hi, this is Ann Nolan from Virtual Quilters. Um, I've decided to make a video. There were a few questions, and there's a lot of numbers that this pattern throws at you. And the pattern shows you for making 9 butterfly blocks to make this quilt. And if you're going to play the block Lotto game, where you submit one and may win all of the ones submitted, you're just maybe going to make one. So I'm going to do this video to give that information so it's real clear. And I think a picture is always better anyway. So this is the pattern which you download, and it has instructions, as I said, for making the butterflies on here. They end up being 10.5 inches square, or 10 inches square, I'm sorry, because these are layer cake pattern 10-inch square pieces of fabric that they have put in between. Makes it a quick quilt, and it all ties in measurement wise. So I made one block. This is it, in purple, because anyone who knows me would understand why it'd be purple. I use that a lot. So this gives you an idea what it looks like. It's in sections. There's 4 sections, and then there's a center body here. And I'm going to quickly show you each of those pieces. So this is the left upper one. And you can hopefully see the card here. This rectangle is 5 inches by 6.25. And you would take these 2 background fabrics. They're 1 3/4 inch square and a 3 3/4 inch square. You're going to draw a line right down the center, point to point, and that's going to be, you're going to sew right on top of that line. This method is called stitch and flip. Some people call it snowball. It's a lot faster, and you can do things, looks more complicated than it is. I always like that. So you can see this piece here. By the way, it should be on the back. It's hard to tell here, but this is a light grunge. Corner to corner, you're going to pin it so it matches to that outer point there. And then you're going to go ahead and stitch right on top of the lines, and that's what I've done here. The marker I used came off with an iron, so once I press this, it'll be gone. Once you've stitched that, then you're going to stitch with stitch and flip. You're going to flip these over, and if you've done everything right, it should line up to the point. I'll just mention a little shortcut in case it doesn't line up perfectly. Normally you would open this up and you would trim this off at 1/4 inch and remove it. You can put that in your scraps or whatever you want to do with it with another project. If it doesn't line up perfect, that can make it wobbly when you try to sew pieces together. So you can use what I call a sandwich method, and that is, this is the bologna sandwich, the 2 pieces of bread. You want to trim out the bologna only, and I'll just kind of, this is not how you do it, but I'm going to, so you can kind of get an idea. So then you'd still have the back piece, let's say it's off, to keep your edge so you know where it is. And it'll be hidden in the seam, so no one will ever know. But if you're lucky and so forth, it's going to come exactly right like these did. You would press that, you would trim it off 1/4 inch, and then I'll show you, you end up with this block right here. And that's the upper quarter of the butterfly with the background fabric here. Now you're going to need to make one, this is the left side, you need to make one that's a mirror of it on the right side. Same measurements, same size rectangle and squares, but obviously you would do it mirror image. And actually, looking at this, the little square should be on the top. So you can see the square and here, and they're just opposite corners. The way you make it is exactly the same as the other side, other than the placement of the squares. Okay, so now you're going to make the squares for the bottom half. And once again, I'm going to do the left side first. So we've got, this one has 3 squares get added to it. So here's the measurements. You're going to have 4 1/4 by a 5 inch rectangle, and that's your colored fabric, whatever color you choose. you're going to have a 1 3/4 inch square for the corner, and then this is a 3-inch square, and you're going to need 2 of those, and I'll show you what that's about. So you're going to once again draw a line down the center, and you're going to stitch over it. You're going to put these two, you're going to do that, flip it over, cut it off at a 1/4 inch seam, and just 1 second, I realized I forgot something. Got it. And then once you've done that, and I should have another piece, and for some reason I don't, but that's fine. We'll wing it here. So once we've done that, we're going to bend this, and I'm just going to pin it for now to demonstrate it. So we've stitched it, we've trimmed it. It's important you trim it first, and you've got this shape, which you can see looks like this, but we're going to do a third one. Once again, look, pay attention to the angle of your line. It should go like this, right to the corner. When you stitch that, it creates this triangle on the end. So you will then stitch it down, then trim it off and flip it. It's always good to look, and you'll end up with something that looks just like this, but it takes 3 of them to get there. And once again, here's your measurements. Then you're going to need to make the other side, obviously, same exact procedure, but you're going to have to do a mirror of it. So you have these two, and then after you finish those, then you'll do the third one here, and you'll end up with one for the other side that's a mirror image. Okay, we're almost done. So the last piece is to do the center body. This is real simple. 3 pieces of fabric. The first one is 1 inch wide by 3 3/4, and 1 inch wide by 4 1/4, which is your colored fabric. And then your background fabric is 1 by 3 inch. You're just going to stitch those together, just very simple, straight. And that finishes the butterfly body. And then you stitch those pieces together. We'll go back to this one. So this is the upper left we did and the mirror image of it. The lower left we did and the mirror image of it. And here's your body. And this should finish at 10 inch by 10 inch. And that's it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can email me at ann@virtualquilters.com. Thanks.